What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and everybody's favorite ever-aging journalist got absolutely demolished yesterday on social media. And I guess I don't feel bad for her. I think that, as many other outlets have pointed out, Taylor Lorenz legitimately personifies the state of corporate press. In my opinion, corrupt corporate press. They're not in the interest. They're not in the industry of reporting on news. They are in the industry of creating news. They're in the industry of bullying, anonymous Twitter people because they get too much power. Taylor Lorenz is, in my opinion, a bully, and one of the worst kinds because it's corporate backed and financially supported. One day she'll probably need to get a name change because she's building up so many people that just really, really dislike her. Perhaps maybe even a prefix like Lord or Lady. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. They allow people to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so they can call themselves a lord or a lady officially. In return, they commit to plant a tree with every order and protect the beautiful, pristine woodlands of Scotland. Established Titles makes an absolutely amazing gift, and a person could officially get their name changed on documents. Their title pack gives you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate and an official certificate with a crest. Established Titles is currently having a really big sale just for you, my subscribers. You can get an additional 10% off any purchase you make with the discount code The Quartering. So click the link below, go to establishedtitles.com/The Quartering and use promo code The Quartering to save an extra 10% today. You see this article from just 2 days ago on Outkick. Taylor Lorenz personifies the state of corporate press. Taylor Lorenz is a character whom the Washington Post labels as a journalist, personifies the state of corporate press. She embodies the decline in credibility and trust with the audience. Lorenz is a talentless, unethical, motivated by hate, and utterly indifferent to the truth. But most importantly, she's useful to those in power. Lorenz and her fellow media types consider the facts only optional. Journalists now work backwards. They pick a target to smear, then they look for evidence to support their thesis through anonymous sources and speculation. Smear merchants, what they really are, spin facts to reach their preferred conclusion. Their minds are made up before they do an ounce of any original reporting. Last week, Lorenz targeted 2 YouTube accounts that grew their brands by covering the JDAH trial. The point of the story was to accuse the influencers of doctoring the facts in favor of JD to gain traction. Lorenz was so eager to destroy the reputation of these creators that she settled for a series of blatant lies to support her argument. The Post eventually had to add several lengthy corrections to her so-called report, as well as an editor's note at the bottom. And even with those, the story is still riddled with falsehoods. Lorenz claims that her errors, including the assertion that she personally contacted the subjects of her story, fall on her editors. Lorenz is a victim of bad faith campaigns, she says. She is no different than perma-victim Joy Reid of MSNBC. Reid has still not admitted that she posted phobic or racist messages on her blog. Remember, the hackers did that to her. She's still the victim. Corporate media staffers have no accountability because they've put themselves on a pedestal well above their audience. In their minds, they cannot be hypocrites as they are not like us. They are our superiors and therefore should not be held to our standards. Isn't that the truth? This is via Outkick by Bobby Burke. I'm really enjoying what Outkick has become. They're another great outsource or source for they're like if the Daily Wire did sports, but they're starting to do more like cultural stuff. I think what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? He went from Fox News to there. He's an older guy. I can't think of his name, but he's very good too. Why can't I think of his name? Anyway, hit pieces and puff profiles are not targeted at the audience at large, but at a specific members of the cream of society. Press members are the gatekeepers of their own progressive rulers. Lorenz proved this when she set out to destroy the woman behind the popular Libs of TikTok account earlier this year. Libs of TikTok merely repost videos of the left making of themselves, essentially hold a mirror in front of their faces. And that is the threat. Liberals do not want their beliefs. I don't like the liberals term. There are plenty of people that I consider or would self-identify as liberal and not insane. So I always say like leftists. This is her showing up somebody's house. Obviously, like, this woman is not well liked. And I was hoping they'd have his picture on the front page because I can't think of his name. You know who I'm talking about. I think he did some stuff with the Daily Wire too. Maybe he's not with their site anymore. Even the Washington Post, Taylor Lorenz said an editor was to blame. Is that okay? Update. The fallout from Lorenz story continues. On Thursdays, members of the Post staff features held a meeting with Post executive editor Sally Busby, senior managing editor Cameron Barr, and managing editor of Diversity and Inclusion, and managing editor of Digital News. At the issue was a letter from features staffers citing an article in the Daily Beast identifying deputy features editor David Mallitz as the one who inserted the mistake about the comments requested to YouTubers. YouTube content creator reporting the affair may cost Mallitz a promotion to a top feature editor. So this is like either he was trying to do like some CYA, cover for her because she never really reached out to those people. But anyway, the coup-fearing WAPO Taylor Lorenz asks Twitter for flying advice, gets a plane load of replies. She writes, I have to fly soon for work. You don't ever have to fly. You can drive. My best friend drives all across this country for his job. It's just quicker for him. Anything like less than 10 hours is generally quicker for him to drive than to fly. Anyway, I have to fly soon for work. As someone who is medically vulnerable, I'm so scared. All COOF precautions that keep high-risk people safe have been dropped. I plan to keep my N95 on my face for 7 hours with 0 water breaks, but I'm scared it may not seal perfectly. Any tips? Well, you could drive a car. I mean, you could just drive a car. This is what corporate press has done to people. Like, so when we're clear here, I 100% believe she is terrified. This is a woman that was wearing an N95 mask outside by herself. I 100% this is the state of fear she's living in. Some of her 324,000 followers jumped in to say what they considered helpful advice. You're choosing between your job and your health, one answered. I'm sorry to have to put it bluntly, but I don't think flying is safe right now for anyone, let alone someone medically vulnerable. She never really said what that is, but several of her members told her to don in a device called an elastomeric, a tight-fitting rubber mask with built-in air purification filters. Others advised her to bring her own HEPA air purifier. When I was fitted for an N95, I was fitted through my work, and they did this whole test on me to check if it was sealed, put air on, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Yeah, so my girlfriend and I recently flew to Europe. We wore the mask the entire time with braces only to eat, and she got it. Best guess was toothbrushing at JFK. Why were you brushing your teeth at the airport? That couldn't wait? Ew. I would never brush my teeth in an airport bathroom. That's disgusting. These people are worried about the coof. Have you been in an airport bathroom? You go in there if you get the panic poos, and that's it. Usually when I travel, I'll take 2 Imodiums to just make sure I'm not gonna drop one for 2 days. I was triple layered last week on a transcontinental flight, and I safely made it, advised somebody with the name Silly Dilly. Wear an N95 and seal the edges with surgical tape. Then wear a surgical mask on top of the N95 for a 3rd layer. Wear a cute cloth mask of your choice. You can also add a plastic face shield for a 4th layer. Consider driving instead. Spare us the theatrics. Super glue, and then a layer of caulk around the edges, some people said. Some people replied with this, of course. I mean, are you joking? And by the way, 3,318 quote tweets to 2,000 likes. and like just getting absolutely destroyed, absolutely ratioed into a like, are you telling people are going to wear these fish bowls on their head? It's not the bubonic plague. Like, these people have been completely ruined by mainstream media. Evu, and then she's, wait, are you using the science for this? Evu shelled. Well, I wonder who makes this. People parcel safety, full face, organic. Just stay home. I mean, just stay home. Maybe turn off CNN. If you're so afraid to go out in public without all of this, is the life you're living even really worth? Like, is it? Are you really living? Doesn't seem like it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you click that red subscribe button down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.